found the donut man. There's Mrs. Ryan right over there. Good morning. Here we are, Sherwood one. Plus this little guy. Hi, buddy. He's all right.
Exactly.
Great.
Volume down, done. Oh no, bubbles. Ah, shit. Lights. Bubbles off. And what has apparently become a bit of a suds cannon out of that. The bubble fluid, I think, has gotten a little congealed.
A little bit.
Coagulated? Is that the word?
Coagulated. Yeah.
Still coagulated?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, it's 2021. Happy New Year,
we
everybody.
Made it.
We'll be in here in just 1 second as I bring the cameras around. Oh, wow. You look great with those shoes and those socks. And the whole, I mean, just artistically, that whole shot looks very nice. I'm going to ruin it by zooming in now. But, boy, that was really good. Good job. Did you design that with the late Kathleen Akers?
Yeah, I talked to her upstairs.
Salute to you. I put a water over there for you, too, if you want it.
Thanks.
It's 2021. Happy New Year to anybody watching. This will make its way to YouTube later tonight and tomorrow. So I guess to our regular audience, thanks for sticking with us. This is Twitch. It's 2021 and it's Tuesday and it's the first Tuesday of 2021. There's bugs in the studio. Don't mind me. And it's we're trying something new. It's Try Something New Tuesday. Oh, gosh. So unsituated. Everything's awful.
I know you look.
We're on a different medium. I don't know what to do.
You look so uncomfortable.
Well, everything's almost the same, but it's just different enough. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That I'm totally not present in the same way. But meanwhile, there is no show to do because it's Twitch, and I think if we're lucky enough, people will find us in their feeds because I didn't tell anybody but our people a few minutes ago that this was even happening. So the hope is that people who are just browsing Twitch right now theoretically could find this show when they're searching, talk shows and podcasts. Let's see. Live right now. What is that? And then they see something with a pretty girl like this. Focus in on that pretty girl. There we go. And some guy next to her. That maybe they'll stay for a second and maybe they'll see that you're awesome and that I know you. but to everybody else, welcome back. It is Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. I said I wouldn't do it, and I did it. Oh, give me a pen over there. Is there a pen over there? Give me that big old Sharpie. That's perfect. That's exactly what I need, because I need to just make that a 1. 2021.
Oh, you did it.
Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. And as I mentioned, it is Try Something New Tuesday on Twitch. So we're trying to slow everything down. If our regular pace on the late night playset is just too swift for you, tonight's the night. We're going to spend an hour or so on Twitch, whatever it is. It's going to be an hour if it doesn't go well. If it goes well, it might be longer. We're open to that. I just don't know how any of it works. So I have our usual stuff, and I have the videos from last week that I didn't take out of the system in case we need to kill some time, in case Hal Gurney needs to show up and kill some time. Hal's still alive, lives in Connecticut. How do we get him on the show, at least via satellite?
Oh, we'll have to think about that one.
I'm asking you. Oh yeah. Would you think about it, though? I'm asking you to help me make that happen.
Sure. I think that can be done.
I think Hal would get a kick out of it, and I think Hal would do it.
I think so, too.
Yeah, that would be amazing. All right, so Hal Gurney, please do our show. Please do your old show, even though it's not really the same thing. But, it's your old equipment. Definitely some of your old equipment, for sure. There's so many things. He was such a huge part of that show in making the energy what I and so many other people fell in love with. We were looking at Dave. Dave was in the frame. You know what I mean? All we saw was this guy here. But the truth is, that's why I call our control room Hal, even though there's a lot of automated stuff here. It's Hal. It's Hal. It'll always be Hal. People probably think Hal 9000 because of the digital nature.
Yeah. People don't. I didn't know until I met you. I didn't really know his value to that show, and I don't think people know anymore.
I would call it. I mean, it was definitely an ensemble show, and that's what people don't really realize. It was for sure. Paul contributed so much with his musical genius, definitely in the tone, but also in his comedy. He was very funny, and he was a really good second fiddle. And I felt that Hal was the same way, almost a co-host of sorts. Mm-hmm. He was off camera, but he, in some ways, had even more control of the show than Dave, and he certainly had access to more stuff than Dave. Dave sort of wrangled the room, and then Hal had access to all these other toys that he could just fling on at any point, whether it was a newscaster getting his makeup done in a different studio in the building, or Olympic coverage, or whatever it was, a different show to interrupt. I just went on a thing with Hal Gurney there. I watched, in fact, I highly recommend this on YouTube. It's the Television Archive, I think. Television Archive, I believe. TV Archive. You'll find it if you just check up Hal Gurney interview. There are archival type things where this, like so many people, he won't be alive forever. Gary Shandling has one as well. We watched. And there's a lot of Hal and Dave stuff. Hal when he used to direct Jack Parr. Hal when he used to work in, I think, game shows too. I mean, really awesome history.
Deep dive. That's fantastic.
Really awesome history.
I love that it's on YouTube. It used to be at like that Academy place.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. You'd go to those machines and you'd be able to dial it up by the code or whatever, like the Dewey Decimal System for digital. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. It was the MTR back in the day, the Museum of Television and Radio, that became the Paley Center, I believe. Do they call it the Paley Center now, or the Paley Museum?
Yeah, I've been there a few times that I had different names every time.
The one in Beverly Hills you're thinking of, right? Mm-hmm. There was one with the white stone face right on the corner there. Like a marble stone face.
I did events there, yeah.
And for you, there was a covered outdoor area for smoking, right?
Probably.
I remember the Museum of Television and Radio because I played there live on the radio when I was a kid. When I was a drummer. When I was a kid, I was a good drummer. I was a really good drummer, and I got some wonderful opportunities. And one was to play on the radio live with the band, but some girl, I can't remember her name, and we did it from the big auditorium at MTR. Now it's the Paley Center, I guess, but it's a room you see in a lot of stuff, and I think you've definitely been there for events and stuff. There's only like one of those rooms at each place, so
yeah. It
was really, really neat for what would have been, I guess,
so
probably
cool.
18, maybe 19, like my dad probably. Yeah, I was probably like 19 years old.
That's really neat.
Fun.
No,
anyway,
everyone could say that.
No, but because of that, we were there all day, and I got to explore the whole place, and I got to see what you were talking about, all those machines with all of the archival footage on them. It was like when we were a kid, when I was a kid, it was the telecine or whatever, the microfiche.
Microfiche is all I could think of.
The little machines and everything. This was better than that. It was like a computer. It was digital, and you could watch movies.
Yeah.
Footage.
Nerdy academic comedian types used to go there, watch old stuff.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Because that's where you could get it.
Yeah, and it was the only place you could get it. So when they were in town, they would go.
Bringing this all around, supposedly, when this was brand new, when they were going from late night, when Hal Gurney and the David Letterman show were going from late night at NBC to what became late show at CBS, when this stuff was all new, they went to that place, the MTR, which was whatever it was called at the time, to go watch old Ernie Kovacs shows, supposedly.
Oh, no
Ernie
way.
Kovacs and Jack Parr and Steve Allen, all to sort of do what you do. You get immersed in whatever the content is, so you decide what you want to do with it. That's
a really neat tidbit.
You're a really neat tidbit. This is fun. I don't know what I'm doing, though. All right. Here we go. Somebody gifted us a... Oh. Well, we don't need that. Well, I mean, we do need that. It's a wonderful thing. Somebody gifted us a subscription to somebody else's channel. Maggers gifted you tier 1 subscription for 1 month to How Do You Make That? Oh, that's that girl I like. Well, that girl I like. Don't tell my wife. That's the girl I showed you the other day. She makes stuff in her kitchen.
Oh, her.
Yeah. She makes stuff.
That's cool.
So it's How Do You Make That? I found out her name is Liz or Elizabeth, but that's all I know.
Great.
I think she has roommates because there's always other people there.
Can't wait.
No, I watched her for a few minutes a couple times over the holiday break. And she was always making cookies or like a sausage strudel or something. Always something.
As long as you can get that ambiance somewhere, because it's certainly not from me here.
It's what I wanted you to see that night when I showed it to you. It was not so much who she was or what she was doing, although what I did like about her, Liz, if you're watching this, that's awesome. Let's make that happen. You should be the first guest on our show on Twitch. Anyway, what I liked was she did seem very unaffected, relaxed. Mm-hmm. It seemed like camera on or off. That's probably just her, which is hard to do. But more importantly, she had a lot of interaction with the people. All her regulars are just there all the time, which I'm sure is how it is probably for most of the shows. So that a banter sort of develops, I guess, maybe.
A community develops. Like, calmer and more comfortable people get, like, the more vocal they get. So that makes sense.
And they're revealing more real them, probably, right? Because it's not as...
Once
what am I saying?
One person pulls a thread, everyone pulls their own. It's like, here's my foibles, every one of them, because you said one thing.
Well, that's interesting. Is that because people then feel safe? Like, oh, so-and-so shared, so I can? Or what do you think the psychology is on that? Or is it just science?
Some of it's that, and some of it's competitive. Like, I can outdo that story.
Oh, Jaws and the scars. Totally. Yeah, you like that? You should see. Yeah, okay.
So it goes both ways, and then that is awesome because it's like
it broke my heart.
Choose your own adventure. You can look into any story how you want.
I'm going to look into a wide shot right now just to break it up a little bit. It's going to be, oh man, I feel sorry for the regular YouTube people who are going to see this later.
Thanks for fixing my mic.
Oh gosh, sorry about that. It's good. There's up to 4 viewers now. How do we figure out who they are? Oh, here we go. There's a whole chat thing. Love you guys from, Blue Seal. Awesome. It's Lewis.
Hi, Lewis.
And let's see. We got, hi guys. Happy New Year from 1983 911 SC. So that's Tom.
Tom,
right?
hi guys. Yeah, Tom and Jeannie.
Tom and Jeannie. And Blue Seal. And what's Lewis's wife's name?
I'm totally spacing. Starts with a J, I think.
It does. It's Judy. Good job. So love to Lewis and Judy and to Tom and Jeannie from J and Nicole on the white shot here. Hi. This is so weird. It's not a show. The This is not a show. I don't care what you think by the content. It's not a show. Not a club. Not a car show. Doesn't this feel more like an interactive experience? It feels like they're here. What's going on, you guys? Now that I know that you're... See, that was probably a while ago, and I just now found it.
It's like crowd work at comedy clubs, I think.
Oh, well, what's your name, sir? Where are you from?
Not all of that is scripted.
How many here are first-time viewers?
Some people are awesomely good at that kind of banter and interaction.
Ian Bagg.
Oh, he's fantastic.
I haven't heard back from him. Would you reach out to him as a second?
Sure.
Oh, look, we have a new follower. Oh, 1983 911 SC. Oh, so he found us through Instagram. I'm starting to see how the web works, the internet. It's the World Wide Web. It means everything's connected. Do you get it? It's all new to me. Spotify. No, we're not on that. Well, we are on that, I guess. It's on podcasts. We are on that, yeah. And actually, I think our podcast platform actually may be owned by Spotify, as a matter of fact. Pretty sure of it now that I think about it. Doesn't mean I want your emails, Spotify. Keep them. Need a boost? We've got playlist for you. No, I do not. Unsubscribe, please. Happening live. Recommended music emails. You can resubscribe if you made an error. No, I didn't make an error. Message settings for other types of notifications. Oh, good. This is how they get you. They got my attention. Don't they know I'm on the air? This isn't a show. I wasn't sure. I thought Twitch might be the place for you to, and maybe not tonight. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I think Twitch may be the place for you to, don't take this the wrong way, but for you to medicate live for people. I mean, like, I would like to do one sometime where you haven't medicated for a couple hours before and start the show that way. But have your little box right here or whatever, and you just go to town on that, and then, yeah. All right, so next time.
Whenever you want.
All right, next time. Yeah, maybe Tuesday. Maybe that'll be the try something new on Tuesday. Maybe it'll be Twitch on Tuesdays and YouTube on Thursdays. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I don't want to. There's no commitments being made right now. We are just speculating. Oh, boy. I don't know what to do. How do you feel?
About the show?
Anything you want to answer. How do you feel? I mean, I know some of them to let everybody else know.
The last couple of days have been really bad.
Physically?
Yeah, but mentally I feel fine.
What's different the last couple of days? Why? Why are they worse?
I'm not sleeping as well, and so my pain doesn't register as pain, but I'm like, I can't fall asleep.
Why? What's going on? Is it up
I'm
here?
just so uncomfortable. It's physical, but it doesn't hurt. It just feels weird.
But what has changed is my point in the last few days. I'm trying to isolate stuff. Like, what has changed in the last few days that would make this different?
Less sleep, I think,
But the way you talk, it's a perpetual motion machine where I'm in pain, so I can't sleep, and I can't sleep, so I'm in pain. You see that, right? So I'm trying to figure out where we can make you better.
I need to not feel the pain. So that's my thing.
Well, that's a tall order if you're in pain.
Yeah, but that's my option. Like, I have to figure out how to not do it so I can sleep. That's the only thing that will fix my head.
Lack of sleep will fuck anybody up. Excuse my language. It will.
Yeah.
It will. Even the most put together, the most enlightened person, whatever, we all need our rest.
Yeah. It just knocks my whole body out, and I feel it when I wake up at 2, 3 in the morning. Like, I know.
That's an interesting question. Do you... Excuse me. Keep up the great work, guys. Been following since Matt brought you on. A Smoking Tire. Dude, thank you so much. That's from Leblon C. Corries. Leblon, boy, I'm going to need help here. Leblon. Oh, boy, am I stupid. LeBlanc Corries, probably. Thanks for your vote of confidence. Not sure I deserve it. Man, that's awesome. We have been having a lot of fun. Thank you for bringing up the Smoking Tire, actually, because I posted there's a great episode that just went up today with Matt's longtime friend, Bozy. And he was a guy I didn't know very well, and we got to know him over the hour or two that we did the podcast. He was satellite, unfortunately, so the energy wasn't like, in the room. Didn't get to know him that way. But what an interesting person who is so insanely knowledgeable about cars, yet still interesting about it. It's so hard for me. I think that's a genuine skill. Matt can do it too. Lieberman is great at it too. How you can know all the stuff, but then make it interesting. A lot of people just regurgitate all the stuff, and it's like, well, all right, but I've heard this stuff. I read this stuff. All right. I mean, what else, But some people really make it interesting, and this Bozy guy did. So highly recommend checking it out. It's the most recent one on the Smoking Tire podcast channel, which I highly recommend you subscribe to that, even if you already subscribed to the Smoking Tire channel, because they are different. Different content, completely different content. Thank you for that. And then the other one was the other day with JF Musial. That was a great one that just went up over the break. Really interesting conversation. He was in studio. And do we want to tell people the backstory on that? That was kind of funny, how that all came together. Yeah,
I'd like to hear it.
Well, I think you already know it. I have to be very careful with what I say because it involves Porsche and it involves us and it involves that day. Yeah. And everything was totally fine, but I do have to be careful with what I say. But it's a funny and interesting story of like, Jay, how did you get into the Self Theater? Like just weird things of how they all work out. One day, 2 or 3 weeks ago, like right before the break, maybe right before the break, we were going to Breakfast Club, and the road was closed at the bottom of 9 Mile, which is Upper Big Tonga, the bottom of Upper Big Tonga. And there was a cop closing it, or a cop car blocking it with the boo. And we said, "Oh, is it closed?" And he says, "It'll just be 5 minutes of filming." Okay, great. So we just pulled over to the side, waited. A couple more Porsches came. Whatever. We had a little line there, and sure enough, after 5 or so minutes, a car did show up that was being photographed by a production car. So there's a picture car and a production car. I can't say what the picture car is but it's a Porsche. So we see it, and we start laughing because we're like, that's it? We thought for sure it would be some prototype or something new, or at least a new model or anything, electric, certainly Taycan, something like everything else we see shooting or testing out there. And it wasn't anything like that. So whatever, me as usual, just sitting there at the corner waiting for the thing to clear. So we get footage of it, and we're laughing. And whatever, I don't think anything of it. And we go on about our day. We go on about Breakfast Club and have a great old day and whatever. I don't know if it was later that night, or I feel like it was later that night. The person who was driving the car in question sends me a message saying, "Hey, that's me." And I was like, "Oh, that's so funny. We were laughing because we thought, like, we expected, a GT car or something else. And you showed up in blank." And he said, "Yeah, that was and gave me some details on it." And I said, "Oh, that's so interesting." So now that I know what it is, I posted again the same thing, but with the tags of the driver and what the car was. And this is really cool. We didn't mean to make fun of it before. It actually is interesting, even though you might not know that by looking at it immediately. And I didn't think anything else about it. So went to bed. A bunch of stuff was going on the next day, I believe. That's why I was telling you the story. I was supposed to go help Adam Ferrara at his studio, which we told you about, helping him with his lighting and stuff. And out of the blue that morning, I got a call from Matt saying, "Hey, I know it's last minute, but Zach's sick, blah, blah, blah. Can you do a podcast today?" And I was like, I don't think so. Hang on, let me check in with Adam. Whatever. I was able to move stuff around. So sure enough, what went from like, I'm going to have my coffee and relax in the morning, went to get in the shower, get to work, go, And it was a weekend, too. I remember that. Because yesterday, it was a Saturday, because yesterday was Breakfast Club. It's wordy, and I'm telling you all the details. I'm trying to stretch, apparently. I get a message that morning while all this commotion's going on. Well, I say, yeah, I figured out, yes, Matt, I can come, whatever. I jump in the shower, and I get a message from the guy saying, "Hey, can you take that posting down? Apparently the client, blah, blah, blah." It was a whole big thing. And he sent me a long message, and I said, I literally went and took it down and responded back, "It's gone, no problem." And I was out the door, like on with my day. Didn't think about it again. Drive down to Matt's. This is all within half an hour. I drive down to Matt's, to WCCS, West Side Collector Car Storage. And I start warming up the studio, getting the lights going, warming up the cameras, all the stuff. And he says, "Who's going to be on the show?" "Oh, it's JF Musial." And I don't know JF Musial. But he says something. He's in town shooting something for Porsche, and I go, oh. That's interesting. I wonder if it was the thing that I kind of accidentally got in the middle of. And he's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, oh, but you can ask him because here he's pulling in his production car right now. And I go, it's a white minivan. And I go, that's what we saw too. And it had black wheels. And I go, hang on, let me see if the one I did. So I pulled up the video for Matt that I had posted and taken down. And sure enough, same minivan. What are the chances? The guest was JF Musso. He was the one in the production thing, filming the thing. He was the one dealing with Porsche. Hey, take that down. Hey, it's not out yet. It was a whole thing. We ruined his morning, and he almost lost a podcast. And the guy who comes in to save the day is the guy who caused the commotion that ruined his morning. What are the chances?
That's how it goes.
Anyway, it was a great podcast. Go listen to it with JF Musso. We talk absolutely zero about that. But he is an incredibly interesting individual. I had no idea he created the Drive network, the Drive television network.
That good.
That Matt used to be on, that all the people we know used to be on, and still are on, I guess. NBC Sports Network, I think it was on that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And many other things. He also he worked with Zach, and I believe he is the one who either owns or created Tangent Vector, which is that other production company that Zach worked for before he went full time at Smoking Tire. I'm going to take a breath and a sip of water now.
It's a great story. Thanks for sharing it.
You asked for it. It was just funny how it all came together to me. That was the nuts of it. Like, wait a second.
It was very...
Come on.
Those circles were very close on that one. Agreed.
Yeah. So all that, this person, thank you so much for checking us out since seeing me on the Smoking Tire. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, it's probably LeBlanc. Boy, this is Jay Ryan. You know, the other thing is, and we never talk about it, but like Jay Leno, I am dyslexic. And it doesn't come up very often because generally you can cover. Yeah, most people can kind of cover. It's not like every single thing is, but it does present itself sometimes, and I definitely embarrass myself sometimes.
I forgot he had that too.
Jay Leno?
Yeah.
Oh. I think it's one of those things that he prides himself on is the wrong way to say it, but he credits himself. He credits where he got in life because of that. If he wasn't dyslexic, he wouldn't have had to work so hard because of his, I don't know, shortcomings, I guess.
He works.
What others saw as shortcomings.
He does work really hard. Like, he's incredibly focused. And that reminds me of you, too. Maybe that's part of it.
Wow. You heard it. She said, I have Jay Leno-like focus. I don't think of him as a focused. Well, of course, I mean, he is focused. But what do you mean by that? And not because of me. I mean, what do you mean by that for Jay Leno? And then we should talk about Jay Leno because he's on my list here.
He's incredibly disciplined in that he has the same routine a lot. And so do you, of like, I do the same things all the time, like certain things. And like, he only orders hamburgers, like he doesn't, and Cokes, like wherever he goes,
there
whatever
are routines.
country.
He lives through his routines. I definitely agree with that, through his regimens. Yeah. Yes.
And that's a way to sidestep the problems that come along with not being able to read. And I'm learning that I don't see or hear as well, so I have to listen around words and see around things sometimes to put it together.
Oh, yeah, like lip reading. That's what your point is, yeah.
They used to teach us to do that with words we didn't know when I was the little kid, of like read around and figure it out. Like, you can get the gist of what it means if you don't know.
Sure. 100%. I think we probably both learned it for the same reason. We didn't want to be wrong or taught shit when we were young. I know that already.
Totally.
So it would, do you know what I mean? Yes.
Sure.
And then you just listen, let them go a little longer, and you totally put it together, of course. I mean, it's kind of a cop technique more than anything. Just keep them talking.
Yeah, it's probably why they taught us to do that in school. That's where they learned it.
Well, I would imagine it probably served you really, really well in press orchestration and in PR work, with the type of PR work you did. You were a trumpet, and you would sort of ignite little areas of, get them talking about this. Oh, get them talking about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you pick certain buzzwords, I guess. You focus on those when you don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
And I didn't really do that, but like I saw that happen a lot. I probably did by accident, but it wasn't my intent. But I saw it happen a lot. And people don't stop to, like you do, and most people don't. Like, they don't stop to listen, they just answer and fling their own opinion, and they don't take in what is being said. So it's usually wrong.
Yeah, it's a human thing, right? I mean, I do it too. We all do it. Thank you for crediting me for not doing it sometimes, but we definitely all do it.
We all do it, but we can't. Like, it doesn't help anything to do that.
Oh, I see your point, and I agree with that, actually.
We're not answering to what is being said. So everyone's just talking to talk. And it's like, no one wants to be talked at. Like I always say, no one wants to be told what to do. That was my old job of like, you could control energy and direct focus, and you can't do that now.
What is the name of Jessica Pilot? Oh, high anxiety. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There was one. Boy, I think it was here. No, maybe not. Gosh darn it. Well, I'm going to try to paraphrase it then. There was something, it's really poignant to what you're saying. There was something about when someone's telling you something, make it your mission in 2021 or whatever to not associate it with some story from your life and tell them about it, which is what we all do. We all do it.
I just read that today.
Me too. That's why I was trying to find it.
It's a reminder to stay present and actually listen to what's being told to you.
And that person needs to get it out of them.
Yeah,
they're not. I mean, the relatability does help, and it's part of it. But the therapy of it is in them releasing.
Yeah, totally. And that doesn't happen if you don't take it in and hear it. And just wait to tell your own shit.
I agree with you. I think people inherently, whether they know it or not, do know that at a cellular level, and that is what makes something a safe place or not.
Yeah, I agree.
This might be an educational show.
Here we go, guys. Let's hold hands and do this.
Twitch therapy, yeah. F yoga, spend the time in the playset. A shout out, by the way, the only reason I even know about Twitch, shout out to, I should just say her channel, right? Shout out to Grace Yoga, Diana. I forget her last name because it was different when I knew her, when she was married to somebody. But anyway, Diana, the owner and founder of Grace Yoga, she does live yoga on the Twitch and is very successful at it. And that's how I found the platform. She said, oh, I'm putting it on YouTube, but I'm doing it on Twitch first, blah, blah, blah. So that's why we're even here. But shout out to her, and go, if you're into yoga, check out her yoga channel because it's actually really fun. I do it myself in the bedroom alone sometimes at night. That sounds terrible.
Good to know.
Yeah. Overshare? Too much?
I don't know
Point
what that
being, like, you
is.
don't need to do the whole class if you just 15 minutes here or there, whatever. They're all different ones. She has yoga for beginners. There's stress relieving yoga. There's stretching yoga. There's all different ones. It's not just like go to yoga class. It's all online. So it's I don't know. Never mind. I wish I didn't bring it up. But if you're looking for one, check out Grace Yoga. She's a very nice person. I don't want to take credit for getting her into yoga, but I do know that when I used to do yoga, like 4 or 5 times a week, at the studio, I was in great shape. Oh my gosh, it was the healthiest I've ever been. But it was 2006, 7, something like that, 8.
I remember hearing about it.
Yeah, before I met you, for sure. Well, I wasn't drinking or anything. I started all that crap up when.
Sorry.
It was very healthy. Anyway, it was during that period where we met at, I think, at San Diego Comic-Con. That's right, because it would have been through the Ghostbusters because of who she used to be married to.
Oh, right.
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 Anyway.
Forgot about that part.
I was doing yoga. So, like, we were at a restaurant once. I remember being in a restaurant. Everybody else, 30 people at a long table, as you do at those at those Comic-Con dinners. And I remember being on the floor in the other room doing like different, like we were comparing how we both did Downward Dog and stuff like that. It was funny. It was very funny.
It's kind of awesome. Weird things like that happen at things like Comic-Con all the time. I love it.
Again, you brought it out. Safe place. Couldn't be a safer place for nerds.
Yeah.
You can be your real self. You can be your real whatever it is.
You can find whatever you are, like whatever you're looking for, you can find it.
That's one thing I did used to like. Although I felt that that was losing itself as I started going with you. But I thought later that I wonder now if that was because I was becoming jaded to it. I was also switching sides. I was when I went to it the first couple of times, I was really more like I just wanted to see what it was. I was a fan of certain franchises that were there, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, stuff like that. But I wasn't like there was no expectation, there was no anything. And when I started going with you, it became the agendas got longer and longer, and everything got harder and harder to accomplish. We talked about it on the show here once about how just crazy nuts it ended up getting. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, in the beginning, when you were on the fan side, it just felt safe. You know what it is? I know what it is. In the beginning, it was a place for people to be themselves. Where people felt free to be themselves. And I think as it progressed, it expanded to a place where people could pretend they were anything they wanted to be. And I don't mean that just as costumes. I mean like it became a real effing Hollywood bullshit place.
It became incredibly commercialized, the whole thing. And so it became about getting in or getting the right hotel room.
Yeah, did you go to this party? It became Hollywood South, and I kind of wasn't into it at that point.
And that wasn't, we were already over it. Like, it wasn't our bag, but it was very industry focused of like, you could call Universal and be like, you need to go to this party. You need to have this cast go to that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what the whole thing became. With selling tickets based on who was going.
Right. That's exactly right. Who was going to be. That's exactly right. It was almost like it doesn't matter who's in. Somebody wants you to come to their show. Like, who's playing? Doesn't matter. Who's in the VIP room? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. And no one wanted to be there. Like, the whole thing was backward on every level.
So weird. Blowing the lid off Comic-Con. I just assume there won't be one this year either. I don't see
Probably
how we
not.
can possibly wrap this shit up by July.
It's so big. Like, I don't see any way. That can't be virtual again.
I don't know why Tom is laughing, but he is laughing in all caps for a while. Ha 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 ha. Tom, why are you laughing? Tell us. And I'll try to be faster on the uptake here. Maybe the problem is the computer's too far away. Would it bother you if I had the computer here? We don't do that for late night playset, as I feel it divides, but maybe
might be good.
Maybe it's okay. Oh boy. I don't know if I like this. I got access to it's more screens in my face. What's good branding, I guess, for the 111? I was going to change it to a Breakfast Club sticker. I think I will. I love those Breakfast Club stickers. Good job, David.
They're really good. They look like old Western theme.
That plays into it. It's totally unintentional, but that was the CBGB. Do you know that?
No.
Do you know what CBGB stands for?
Good Vibes Breakfast Club.
No, that's what GVBC stands for.
No, I don't know.
Let me see if I get this right because it's easy to screw it up. CBGB was Country, Blues, and Bluegrass. CBGB. No, Country, Bluegrass, and Blues. See, I screwed it up anyway. CBGB, and it was like an alternate club, like an alternative club, and then it became that and the antithesis of that. It became punk. It became everything else. It became a place to try new stuff. It became the cool hip place. It was Comic-Con in reverse.
Great. Sign me up. I love it.
But that's why it does kind of look, because it was country, bluegrass, and blues.
That's awesome. I'm seeing now what we thought we were putting out as publicists. Like, we really weren't. Like, it's really how it's taken in. So if I see weird things like that looks like a Western movie on stickers, that's what I think.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think that you're finally looking at things, to be honest with you. I think you're finally looking at things and making associations, which is really important. And at 41, congratulations. I don't mean, I don't mean, I can't stand this. It's not going to be here. I don't mean that in anything other than a genuine congratulations.
Thanks.
I think that you're going to start experiencing the world finally, and I mean that again, sincerely.
Thank you. I hope so.
I hope other people take that how I meant it. Would you tell them if you know what I mean?
I think for the new people, I was broke. I have MS. I was broken for a long time. And
Sorry.
like I was just empty, like totally void of thought. And so the fact that I can associate anything right now is pretty awesome.
That's amazing. I don't even mean that. I truly meant, I don't think you looked at things in your life before. I don't think that you took data in the same way you do now. I don't think that you were as thoughtful. I don't think you were as mindful. I think in every way you were a consumer. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're a great American.
I would agree with you.
I think that you were a consumer. I wasn't
discerning.
Mm-hmm. But I also don't think you even took the time to be discerning, to look at something enough. There was no why in anything. It was just this. Okay, move on. This. Okay, move on. That. Okay. There was no like, but why is this that? But why is this that? Why is that?
Okay.
Why
One
did they
thing
choose
that
country
I
and Western?
didn't tell you, and that I didn't ever have the time to tell you, is all that shit was planned and discussed over email for months.
What?
All that, like why and why did we do this and why did we go here? Like, so there's a lot of that backstory, but in the moment, it doesn't mean anything.
You're talking about your work. Again, I'm trying to say outside of work, looking at things.
I didn't really make a separation. That's on me.
No.
But yes, I'm looking at things actively now, purposefully.
I'm trying to say you didn't smell the flower. You didn't stop and smell the flowers before.
No, I did not. That's a no.
Did I stop you from saying what you wanted to say? Because I would like you to say what you wanted to say.
I don't remember, and it is so not important.
I can see you horribly uncomfortable right now, though.
I'm just trying not to pee my pants.
Oh, do you want to go to the bathroom? In the meantime, I do want to tell you about Jay Leno because we had a really nice moment the other day. If you recall, let's see, on the show last time, I think we showed this. Because we saw Jay, and I said I didn't take a picture, and we found this one. So then, since then, we went digging, and I found this one. This is from when the missus and Jay were in Afghanistan for the USO. I wish I could zoom that in. I can't. And there's a bunch of other people in that picture. There's Craig Robinson right behind Nicole, and that's who she was there with. Right directly behind Nicole, camera left, is Kevin Eubanks from the Tonight Show Band. And then going slightly to the right in the reddish check shirt and khaki pants and a belt, that's Al Roker. Directly to his camera right, Eliza Schlesinger in the T-shirt and pajama pants. And then, of course, in the denim, Jay Leno. A bunch of other people there. I think they were from the armed forces, though, from the USO and stuff. I don't know them. But anyway, that was really cool. And then, of course, we did indeed see him at Malibu Kitchen for Malibu Cars and Coffee the other day. So, good stuff. I do have to say, though, I dropped the ball in a major way. What's the surprise there? No, really, I did. I made a commitment to, and I felt sick about it until talking to two people who told me to let it go. But I made a commitment to you, our audience, last week on the show, saying the next time I see Jay Leno, I would invite him to be a guest on the show. I didn't. It didn't even slip my mind. I was about to do it right as I took this picture. And let's see it again. Right there. And as I snapped it, Susie from the Malibu Kitchen came out and said, Jay, blah, blah, blah. She wanted me to take a picture of Jay Leno and Jimmy, the World War II vet who I talk about on the show all the time. Whatever. It got me sidetracked. One thing led to another, and then they started talking about Duesenbergs, and the moment passed. I felt so stupid as I realized that we sat in the car, and I go, oh, I didn't ask. It was just so silly. So I know nobody gives a shit about this except for me. I hate making a commitment and breaking it. I hate it, truly. So I'm making the commitment again, same one. Next time I see him, hopefully this Sunday, I will ask him. No guarantee what he says. Absolutely none. I don't know. Hang in there. Oh, going to the wide shot for the wobble. You okay? The walk-in is shot today. I see it. That's all right. Don't worry about anything. You just take care of you. Correct. I bet you feel better having peed.
I have less to distract me. That's for sure. Everything
so
takes
sorry.
my focus.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
Well, it is, but we can see that and we know it. So how come you don't?
I'm just in mad denial, and I'm trying to get through that, and it's really not a fun process.
Okay. Well, this is the fun part of the process. We're laughing.
Yeah, I'm learning to listen, because otherwise I'll just power through and ignore everything like I used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the MO I know.
Old habits die hard, man.
I know that one too. That's the truth. Anyway, I just told them all about Jay Leno and how I let everybody down. I let everybody down, all four of you. Oh, look at the wobble here on the replay. Whoa, whoa, hey. Pretty good.
That's
You
how
made
it goes.
right in the pocket there. Good job. All right, well, I told you about that. Let's see. Told you about the JF Musial story and to go watch him on the Smoking Tire podcast channel on YouTube. Check it out. I didn't tell you about St. Clair Insurance, and I sure should because they're the ones paying the bills around here. It's 2021, and it's time to get a new car, and a new old car maybe if you're into collector cars like we are. Highly recommend checking out St. Clair Insurance, coverageforyourtoys.com. They have a card here for a little commercial, but I just want to talk to you about it today. They say all that separates men and boys is the coverage for their toys. St. Clair Insurance has coverage for your toys. Here in Los Angeles, they're really I don't think there are more toys than cars, and I don't think there are more car toys in Los Angeles. Oh, excuse me, in the world anywhere than Los Angeles. Abu Dhabi maybe on the money factor, but I think sheer numbers here.
I would agree with you.
Like the dollar factor, maybe it's a high dollar amount there, but
You got people that like things here, like get a bunch of them.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah, if you like a Porsche, you get 30 Porsches if you can afford it. Yeah.
And Dubai's like, I'm pretty awesome. Look at all my stuff. So it's a different mentality.
Regardless, it doesn't matter whether you're here or anywhere. We see these awesome toys all the time. It's 2021, and it's time to insure your toys. Everybody has to do it, so may as well check out coverageforyourtoys.com, St. Clair Insurance. If you're already a Haggerty customer, which a lot of our viewers are, switch your account over to coverageforyourtoys.com. It's still Haggerty. It's still it's still all the same coverage. It's still all of the same policies. Your number even stays the same. The only difference is when something happens, you can text Jeff Sinclair. You can literally call him. You know what I mean? You can go to his interface. It's just much easier than having to deal with an 800 number or going to the website or whatever. Obviously, do whatever you want to do, but we highly recommend coverageforyourtoys.com and St. Clair Insurance. Also, if you're a car person that we know, like all the rallies, the Targa rallies, the Baja rally, all that stuff, he sponsors all that stuff. He's already in the same community as us drivers, so check it out. Coverageforyourtoys.com, St. Clair Insurance. Love it, love it, love it. Also, speaking of 2021, I didn't make a card for this yet, but I would be remiss if I didn't tell you. Cruise into 2021 with Cruise into Wellness. C-R-U-Z. Z. Cruise into Wellness CBD. The cruise is with a Z. They are a new friend of the show. They are sending stuff for Mrs. Ryan, CBD products, and I believe there may be a variety of other things coming. We shall see. But huge fans there. Check it out. Cruise into Wellness. CBD. They're on Instagram. There's a website as well. They can get stuff to you most places. Yeah, it's really, really great.
That balm and that tank, whatever that under lotion thing is, the serum, is awesome.
Good. Great.
Yeah.
The balms are, I've noticed, great. I've been putting it on my temples here at night before I go to bed.
Yeah?
Like a little, feels like I want to say Vicks Vapo Rub, but there's a little eucalyptus in it, so it gives you that sort of menthol-y kind of but with whatever the CBD is. So, I like it. It's nice.
It's taking some of my pain away, so I'm all about it.
Then do more of it. He said do as much as it, just keep whatever. If it's not doing it, let's up it.
I need more. It's so good. I put it on as much as I can.
But not just that in general, like the edibles or whatever. He said sometimes we just need to do more until we get a hold of it. It won't be that much forever.
That pen is good at night. Like he knows what he's talking about.
Okay, good. So check it out, Cruising to Wellness. I want to tell you about our friend Byron Bowers. Our friend Byron Bowers was one of the first guests on this show before it looked like this. It was just us at the dining room table and trying to do a podcast TV show type thing. And our buddy Byron, who is a fantastic stand-up comedian and very talented actor in his own right, he was so nice to give us his time and his little bit of his celebrity status very early on. He said on the show, next time I see you, I'm going to have a 9/11. And I thought to myself, you totally could. I didn't think he would, but not because he couldn't. I knew he could. Didn't think he would. Sure enough, 2020 happens. Guy can't perform at all. And he's like, I'm going to get a 9/11. I'm like, what? Most comics I know are selling their shit and, trying to find a smaller apartment. He's doing okay. Byron's awesome. I don't know what to say about him other than I love him. He showed up at Breakfast Club the other day with a macadamia brown 997 Targa, but it's been customized. It's got cool shit on it, and it's got these huge wheels, and I don't know. I just didn't expect it, and he's there, and he's in the pocket again. When I met him, he had the 944 Turbo, and that's why we hit it off, because we were there with Ian Bagg, you remember? But
Yeah.
he was like, 944 Turbo. I can't remember. He saw my car or something. It was a BMW back then. Somehow we started talking. We became friends that night. And I just didn't, I don't know why I didn't expect it, but Byron, I love you. I'm so happy and excited. And I want to tell you, car people out there, even if you're not into comedy, Byron Bowers has a new Instagram for his car, and it is just simply entitled Macadamia Nut. So please go follow Macadamia Nut to check out the adventures of this Macadamia Nut Brown, or Macadamia Brown 997. It's pretty cool. Looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
But
he'll
he
do fun
really
stuff.
Went all in.
You may know Byron Bowers. I forget. He also had a car show, and he also did stuff for Donut Media. So you may know him from car stuff as well. And he's really funny. He's really talented, and he's such a great guy. Really, really great friend. And of course, Smoking Tire knows him. I'm talking to him, and then Matt and Byron are walking back over at the kitchen the other day. I'm like, of course you two know each other. He's like, oh yeah, Byron, I go way back. Yeah. That was Matt. I don't know. I think we've done probably the hour, or pretty close. How does this feel? I know I've rambled the entire time, except for when you got upset.
It feels fine. I'm getting through the upset part. I don't know what that's about, but
That's old you, and that's what used to come out. It used to come out on the show all the time.
sorry, everyone.
No.
I don't want to.
I
do
bring
that.
it out. That's the husband and wife thing. But you used to bring it out of me too, and I would let you, and then I stopped letting you. now I laugh. What else are we gonna do? Who wants to watch a husband and wife fucking sit? Excuse my language again. Sit there uncomfortable.
No one.
Only other uncomfortable husbands and wives want to see that. You're like, look, we're not the only ones. But other people would like to feel good. They're like, oh yeah, that's great. They do love each other. It's not just an act.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it looks like it's just an act.
we're not bullshit. Get
No. Don't you dare pepper that.
Apparently, that's what I do today. Sorry, everyone out.
Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong show. No wonder I can't find it. Here it is. I'm like, what? Magnus? Why is Magnus on there? And with 3 minutes to go, we should probably bring in our guest for this evening. Magnus Walker, come on in. Happy New Year, GVBC. That was a big one. That was a lot of fun. It was a huge turnout. Huge. Instagram, Nicole, nothing new on there for you, is there?
I don't think so.
Okay. I like to have it up, and sometimes I'll refer to it if there was anything I don't remember. The doggies. It was nice to see the doggies in Malibu Kitchen. the
Oh
other day.
yeah, and the puppy's like a dog now.
The dogs that everyone knows from Malibu Kitchen, the one that's in the back of the truck that barks, and the other one it's seen there sometimes. They had a puppy like 5 months ago now, and we talked about it on the show, and I know we posted pictures. Last time we saw that puppy was before it was given away to its new owners, and she ran out and gave it to you and just put it in your hand one day. I just remember that. Like, here, you need a little love, and just gave it. I mean, it was this big.
It was, yeah.
Puppy showed up at Malibu Kitchen the other day, 5 months old, half a full-grown dog, but a dog, not a puppy.
Yeah, a dog, an energetic, pulling the leash dog.
Yeah.
Knew where it wanted to go.
It was so cool, though. It was so cool because it was very clear that that dog remembered you, and that's what's amazing to me. It's like, they do imprint at that age, just like kids.
Yeah. He came up and sniffed and snuggled, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So cool. Shout out and love to Susie and Bill. I'm still thinking about that pie, though. I don't think I'm going to be able to wait till another holiday to order another pie. Now
so
that I
good.
know about that deep dish.
It was so good.
I always liked their pies. I always did. But pumpkin is my favorite. He's probably best known for that. Is it the apple crumble, whatever, or raspberry crumble, whatever? There's one that he's like really signature known for, and it's just amazing. I don't happen to really care for apple pie. That's the only thing. So it's not my personal favorite, even though it's like the one. So I always get a pumpkin pie, and it's always been delicious. But it's just a pumpkin pie. What can you do to a pumpkin pie? I don't know. He deep dished it. There's a whole nother pumpkin pie I didn't know about.
So good.
Highly recommend ordering a deep dish pumpkin pie from Malibu Kitchen. It's worth it. It's like a $40 pie, but it's totally worth it.
Totally right.
It really is. And you know what? I want to shout out because that's what I do. I'm a shouter to Phyllis. That's right. To the mother unit. No, we had a great talk the other day. I mentioned on the show that we've been getting along and that things are really nice and that I feel universally it's about time, and it's just been really, really nice. But she is a supporter and a watcher of the show. We had been wanting to talk for a couple of weeks, and I was like, there's so many things I got to catch you up on. I couldn't remember what they all were, and I was as I would start to tell a story, she would pick it up halfway through. Oh, is that the one when Adam... Because she had been watching the show, so she actually does stay caught up. And that is something that I'm grateful for, because when we do talk on the weekends or every couple weeks or whatever it happens to be, there's we can just go into the shorthand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That she's picked it up along the way.
You don't just start and tell the whole thing all the time.
It makes it easier for me. It requires less energy, and then I can share more, then I can be a better son for her, better son unit for her.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so shout out. It's nice.
Hi, Phyllis.
Since you're watching. And then also, as you all probably don't recall, but way, way, way back when I was a kid, I tried to do this thing in my basement, and the whole thing, like every other little weirdo. Rupert Pupkin, found out later. And so I asked Phyllis the other day on the show, I was like, do you, and I'm sure, I'm going to ask at some point, do you want to be on the show? And she's like, I've wanted to be on your show for 20 years.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
So at some point, you probably all will meet Phyllis.
That's
which is crazy.
Really cool.
It's crazy because I never thought I'd say those words. Not on this show. I didn't think I'd be able to. I didn't think I'd be big enough. I didn't think we'd ever be here at a place where we could do it. She and I, Mm-hmm. It's weird. The more I think about it, I don't know. Maybe not. No, nowadays, I'm an adult. I want to see what happens. I'm all about moving forward instead of dwelling. So I'm kind of yeah, let's fucking see, whatever. It's all good. What's the worst? Fireworks? She pees her pants, has to leave the room. What are you going to do? Could be worse.
I'm here. It can always happen.
All right. I'm going to wrap up this Twitch thing because I don't know how to do it.
Okie dokie.
I'm so grateful to the people who tuned in. I know it was only a few, but I didn't really expect any. But what I thought would happen didn't really happen, I don't think. Those were all just our people versus people just kind of finding. So I think now that this is up, that'll be on our channel. There's nothing on our channel, other than the name and the logo and here's what we do, except we never did it. This is our first one. I think maybe now there'll be something for people to find.
Cool.
I don't know. Who knows? Twitch. Thanks, Twitch. Thanks for having us. And to YouTube, thanks for putting up with us. This will go up to YouTube later. I was joking about it before, obviously. But I don't know. Thanks. I don't know what this is. We'll be back on Thursday with a guest. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't know. It's that simple. No, I think it's one of two people. One person is checking to see if they're available, and I know one person who can do it if the other person can't. So it's that kind of thing. Yeah. So we'll see. But that's it. We love you. Seems very strange. It's not a show, so there's no real goodbye. Do I just turn it off? Do we just say, hey, we're ending now? Da 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 da.
I don't know.
There's an election in Georgia. I don't want to talk about politics, but I hope that everyone stays safe tonight. I hope that it doesn't get nuts. I spent my morning reading up on how and where reminding myself of how and where the Civil War started, way back when. Started on David Letterman's birthday, by the way.
Really?
Well, he wasn't born yet, but sure.
But, wow.
April 12th.
Where?
South Carolina, Charleston. And I knew that from visiting there as a kid and doing all the stuff. The colonial stuff, Colonial Williamsburg, all that stuff. They have the same thing in Charleston. So I remembered it, but seeing it this morning, I was like, oh, wow, it's right over the border. Same area. It's the same folk.
Interesting. I forgot that.
Hundreds of years later. It was 17-something. It was the end of the 1700s, right? Yeah. No, that can't be right. 18? Oh, geez, now, boy. I got fixated on April 12th. No, 1875?
Probably. I don't think we were a country in the 1700s.
1776.
History lesson for me today.
I don't know. It was interesting just reading up on all that stuff, though, and just thinking that, man, what I see here is it's not a question of it's not even politics. I really see it's a situation of evolution of how do we still want to be and act as Neanderthal as we did 200 plus years ago, or do we want to be the evolved species that we all have become if we want to and progress? It's weird because I don't know what happens. It's weird to see it's the timeline wars. It's the future versus the past fighting right now before us, happening real time right now. I know that sounds crazy, like a sci-fi movie, especially after we said goodbye 5 minutes ago and I'm still talking. But that's what's going on.
It does feel like that. Like you get to pick your path right now. It's like, which way do you want to go? How do you want to live?
Yeah, it's interesting. So think about that. See you Thursday. We love everybody. Please love one another. Thanks for hanging with us here on Twitch and hanging with us in the Playset in general. We love you.